Last time on Abandoned Comfort, we rode out the back edge of a cold front down to Marco Island. We timed our departure with the winds and left around 2 a.m. ensuring we'd be able to sail for the majority of the trip. We made it to Marco in 19 hours and tied up to finish up our never-ending teak deck project. We are back on slip. It feels good. Definitely not the same feeling that you get when you're on the hook though. Being at anchor is probably the best part for us about cruising. If being at anchor wasn't part of cruising, we would probably say it's not worth it because you guys know this is a ton of work. But when you're out there, you're surrounded by water, it's so tranquil to like wake up and you're just completely surrounded and almost immersed in water. It's really awesome feeling. Who knows what we're actually gonna think about cruising once we actually start seeing foreign countries. And speaking of next destinations and actually cruising.
Someone's in disbelief this morning.
Yeah. Actually going to Cuba. Cannot believe it. I did not think we were going to be able to go. We're actually making our dreams come true. When we first bought this boat, we wanted to do 2 locations specifically. Dry Tortugas and Cuba. And we're going to both. You excited, Drew?
Not so excited. He just wants to go to the dog park. It's like, no cameras. No cameras. Cuba? Come on, guys, really? Pero no hablo español.
Going to Cuba!
Not gonna lie, I'm pretty shocked because with the current administration, there was a lot of news going around saying that a lot of Obama's policies got removed or restricted or whatever. Just not true. It's just a media thing, I guess. And as government always does, nothing changes. Just the people that are bossing other people around. So we're going to Cuba. But first, we have to provision.
We're a little low on food. That's all we got.
Some butter, quinoa, and avocado mayo.
We know how to provision. That's how you do it, right? Alright, everything is packed away. We've managed to buy 3 to 4 months worth of food supplies, and we still have room to spare. We also have all of our spare parts on board, and this guy's dog food. What do you got?
Do I look busy?
Yeah.
Got 10 copies of a lot of stuff. Passport, Coast Guard docs, all required for us to go to Cuba. Luckily this marina is awesome and they allowed us to use the printer and print it off like, I don't know, this is probably like at least 120 pages.
Oh my god.
Color copies and everything. And they gave us a free night in the slip. Incredible. And we need that too.
We do.
I'm sure you guys have seen Kelsey's been going nuts. Alright, so I am officially finished with submitting the CG 3300 and our OFAC form. And I did a bunch of attached documents and everything to explain our certain reasonings for it and really went super in depth with it, hoping that that was a little bit of an added touch for them to say, alright, yeah, we'll let these kids go. But we'll see. I also am finished editing, so I am going to help this girl finish up this cockpit.
Sucks.
Takes forever to rebuild this deck. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I would not want to do this with wood.
Alright. We shall continue.
Sucks. I got these two completely glued together, and I'm about halfway through this one. And then I just got this guy and the long one that's covered right now. About halfway through, I'm gonna take a little break and I'm gonna help Ryan with engine. Doing some engine maintenance.
Impeller is good. No breaks in the vangs or anything, so that's good. Just tighten the belt. Everything's good on that. Now I'm about to start on the fuel filters. And then doing an oil change and changing out the coolant. And changing all the oil filters.
Fun stuff. Voila. Actually came off the way it's supposed to. Old filter's gone, new filter on. Brew and I are napping. And Dad's doing all the work.
Still pumping.
So it was pretty windy today, so we didn't go up to check the spreaders, but we'll be doing that tomorrow morning. Instead, we stayed inside and worked on the engine for the rest of the day.
We have, I think, like 12 spare fuel filters, 6 Raycor filters, 12 oil filters, and 8 gallons of coolant, and then 6 gallons of oil. So we're good. Ready to take this bad boy around the world right now.
Before we did our first oil change on the boat, Ryan decided to buy all the parts in bulk. And they were very heavy boxes, but I brought them all back to the boat and didn't know what they were, and opened them up and was semi-disappointed and semi-excited.
It's never ending.
No. It was like just 8:30, I feel. But it's done. Oil change is done. Raycor is clean. Impeller, belt, everything's good. Coolant is good. Since we're in a private kind of community right now, we'll probably start it up in the morning instead of waking everyone up at midnight.
And then we are off the slip tomorrow morning.
Yep.
And back to dropping the hook.
It'll be nice. Alright, we're just doing last minute checks and making sure everything's good to go, and then we're ready to push off and go back to anchor. Got almost everything done that we needed to do. Still need a couple more things. Got to finish up the cockpit at anchor, but looking pretty good. Alright, let's get going.
Probably tell you what we're doing. We keep forgetting the camera lately. Alright, so we've put out about 30 feet. We are in about 10 feet of water, so really short scope right now. What we do is we put out a short scope, we do a hard snub on the windlass, come back and do a power set while we're short scoped. Then we go ahead and connect our bridle.
All comfy.
And I give him belly rubs. And he like just nuzzles up against the windlass.
Adhesive. I feel like all we've been doing for the last 2 months.
The realities of living aboard for real. No fluff added.
Seems like we've only done 2 things today. Seems like we just glued down this and just moved to anchor. But we were also working on abandoned comfort work for about 3 hours. So it's not just boat work. There's a million other things that always get done.
It's never ending, but it beats the hell out of a desk job. Depending upon how you look at it. first ever movie at Anchor. And we're using our low jaw surround sound. See you tomorrow for some more boat work.
Two sections done. Alright, back together. Now, just have to complete the rest of this.
Alright, day 3 being on the hook. Battery bank is still pretty much topped off. And Kelsey is still working on the teak deck. I cut the black caulking for that. Kelsey trimmed the rest of it, put it all together. And I do have to say she has done an absolutely marvelous job.
Thank you.
Then this morning, like I said, we got up really early, got right down to finishing up the teak here. What we're doing is gluing together these. This mat is not glued down yet. It's just the gluing together of the planks because we are rebuilding this entire deck brick by brick. That's why it is taking forever. So both of this and that, where Kelsey is sitting right now, is going to be weighed down, and then we pretty much have from there over. So we've got about 40% of the cockpit remaining. This morning, our next door neighbors rode over to us on Swan, which if you can see their home port there, it says Denali Park, Alaska. We didn't notice that until this morning after they came over. If I saw that when they pulled up, I definitely would have been that person who hops in the dinghy and goes right over and is like, hey, I want to know everything about you. Because one of me and Kelsey's life goals, and it's pretty high up there now, is to hike Denali before we're 30 years old.
We only have a couple more years left.
Yeah.
We better get going on planning.
Yeah, we got about 3 years until then. So, they came over, and these people are pretty much who we want to be in 10 years. They spend their winters on their 42-foot west sail, and then they spend their summers up in their cabin in Alaska on 20 acres of land, I think they said.
Yep, that they built by hand.
That they built by hand using only hand tools. That is literally like the exact dream that we have. I don't know if we want to do Alaska. We've said Montana, Colorado, which we mentioned way back in like episode 3. The original dream was Colorado. Now, since the road trip expanded more to Montana, Colorado, potentially Alaska, I don't know, we've never been up there, so we can't say. So they'll be coming over tonight, but for the day, it's pretty much just gonna be us working on the teak deck, going to Starbucks, running errands, picking up Cuba charts, activating our inReach, which is our satellite phone, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, so everyone can stop right here and just take a second to appreciate that I am now 99% done with all the teak. I have glued all of this together, and then once Ryan gets in a good spot, we'll be gluing it down, and that is it. That is it. We are done. As soon as it's glued, we are finally done. He doesn't look as excited.
Huh?
And we are 99% done with the teak.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say with the episode. I was gonna say, no, I'm not. I'm maybe 50% done the episode. Cool, let me go see it. I'll take a break from editing gladly. Come on, Rue. Let's do this, bud. Yeah. Oh! Look at that. Oh, man. That looks great, babe. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a really good job on this one.
Thanks.
This cockpit looks freaking awesome.